Welcome to today's hearing of the Subcommittee on Oversight and Investigations. Our country's national security and economic prosperity depend on stable access to the products and materials our energy producers need. Unfortunately, we currently depend on international rivals such as China and Russia for much of these energy supply chain inputs. According to a recent report by the Heritage Foundation, of the 35 minerals identified as critical by the Department of the Interior in 2021, the United States is 100% reliant on imports for at least 20 of them. Additionally, the same report reveals that while China only possesses about 36% of the world's rare earth element reserves, it controls more than 70% of the world's extraction capabilities and 90% of the worldwide processing capacity. Last year, the White House drew attention to the fact that China controls 87% of the global market for magnets, which are used for everything from electric vehicle motors to electronics and all manner of power-producing turbines. The Biden administration has extolled the billions of dollars in grants and incentives in the Infrastructure Investment and Jobs Act and the Inflation Reduction Act as a key component of our national strategy to secure our energy sector supply chains and support a domestic manufacturing base. However, as Department of Energy Inspector General Terry Donaldson testified before this subcommittee just a few weeks ago, this speedy spending spree carries risks such as funding flowing through new programs that may lack appropriate internal controls and the push to get money out the door without adequate oversight of who the money is actually going to. This committee has led the way in expressing our concern and inquiring into how the department is vetting the entities competing for its large awards. Last December, Chairwoman McMorris Rodgers and I sent a letter to Secretary of Energy Jennifer Granholm requesting more information regarding the department's selection of Microvast as an awardee under its Battery Materials Processing and Battery Manufacturing and Recycling Funding opportunity. Microvast selection raised concerns regarding Chinese Communist Party influence. Just last night, our committee was informed that the DOE has decided not to proceed with this award. Others have expressed concern about the nature of partnerships and joint ventures between the United States companies and Chinese companies, as these entities attempt to take advantage of the Inflation Reduction Act's tax credits and other incentives. In just one example, in my home state, the Commonwealth of Virginia, our Governor, Glenn Youngkin, withdrew our state from the process of incentivizing Ford Motor Company's proposed electric vehicle battery factory because of Ford's subservient role in a partnership with a Chinese company. Today, we will take a closer look at some of our federal policies and programs designed to address reliance on foreign adversaries for important energy sector products and materials, and scrutinize whether they are really serving their purported goals. While I appreciate the Department of Energy's efforts to update the committee on its new, quote, research technology and economic security, end quote, measures, and the opportunity to discuss this briefly with Secretary Granholm a couple of weeks ago, many questions remain on awardee vetting. I commend the Department for its increased security of the Microvast award and appreciate them backing up on that, retracting that. I had originally hoped to have the Department of Energy Office of Manufacturing Director to join us today for this hearing. He could have delivered this good news in person. Unfortunately, they have refused to come before us, citing inadequate notice despite receiving an invitation to testify on May the 9th. This in and of itself makes me wary of the department's vetting. Since they're supposed to be doing this work on an ongoing basis, I would have expected 2 weeks to be more than enough time for the office to provide a well-informed witness who could articulate the program goals and the award review processes. And if he's here without letting us know, we're prepared to receive his testimony. Even though not in attendance today, this conversation is too important to postpone. First, the subcommittee welcomes Mrs. Diane Furchtgott-Roth, I hope I got that close, Director of Center for Energy, Climate, and Environment at the Heritage Foundation and adjunct professor at the George Washington University. We are also joined by Mr. Jeremy Harrell, Chief Strategy Officer at ClearPath Dr. Ellen Hughes Cromwell, Senior Resident Fellow for Third Way's Climate and Energy Program, will also be testifying. And finally, we'll have Mr. Kenny Stein, Vice President for Policy at the Institute for Energy Research. Again, we are disappointed by the department's decision not to attend, but do thank the witnesses who are here for sharing their ideas. I look forward to today's discussion and hope that we can further the conversation on reshoring and nearshoring of our essential supply chains. With that, I yield back, and I